Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner. Before we get into today's episode, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsor, Manscaped, is here for you with the best tools to get yourself ready. This V-Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. You can go over to manscaped.com and use the code GRIPLOCKED for 20% off and free shipping. The holidays went by so quickly. Did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is just the thing that every guy needs in their life to make each day and every day a little bit more special. The number one product in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate nuts. It even has a 400K LED spotlight, which I don't really know much about, 4,000. Excuse me, 4,000. What K are we dealing with here, Konner?
Kelvin is.
That's
a big
not
deal.
really how we measure these.
No.
These video lights.
Just if you're just estimate.
Well, if K, I don't know what K stands for.
But just like give me a K.
It's
here.
not Kelvin because Kelvin doesn't have to do with brightness.
What is what is this? What does that do with?
That is set to like 5100.
5100 K. So basically, you're going to be holding a flashlight
spotlight.
that might as well be these soft boxes.
It's not quite how it works.
It's exactly.
Well, I don't know. I got the information in front of me. It looks like that's how it works.
Yeah.
So basically, you can shave anywhere your heart's desire. And did I mention it's waterproof too?
Yeah, and this package also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts: their Shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. To complete the perfect package for your package are liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Start your day off with a deodorant for your boys, then stay cool all day with toner to keep you feeling your best all day and night. These formulations will also have your balls smelling like a king on the big day.
Boom. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the code, one word, GRIPLOCKED. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is really sneaking up on us.
Yeah, it really is. Your wife's birthday
It's my
is
wife's
Valentine's
birthday
Day.
as well. It's the double whammy.
It's a twofer. My wife's birthday's on Halloween. Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. My wife's birthday's on Halloween.
Halloween. Every time somebody accidentally pronounces something but no, they pronounce it correctly, but they get like
the enunciation is wrong.
Like where you
the emphasis.
Emphasize. Yeah, that's like the funniest thing to me. I do it a lot. Like whenever you get frazzled, you'll just say like a word and just say it in a new way that it's never been said before.
Like Bojangles or Bojangles.
Bojangles. I say that ironically.
Yeah,
because it's just
or
fun.
Hobby Lobby or Hobby Lobby.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I say Hobby Lobby, and Trevor says Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
There's a difference.
I think I say it the same as Trevor.
Yeah.
Hobby
or if
Lobby.
you say Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Well, but I think the Halloween one was weird. I said it fast. I think I said it fast.
No, that was new for sure.
That's the funniest one I've heard.
Halloween. It's more like Halloween.
It's,
like
the
ing.
more syllables, the better.
I added an ing.
You sound like a narrator.
Because once you mess
like
up
the Nightmare Before Christmas. Halloween.
Once you mess up like one of the syllables, you have to just keep going.
Yeah, you just
so the
flow.
more syllables in the word.
But then
the
I couldn't
better.
figure out the actual word. None of that matters. Let's get into some off-season movement. We don't have any. Because this whole segment
Katrina is dragging her feet.
When is Katrina Allen going to announce and where is she going? Don't know the answer to either of those
smart
questions.
though. She's playing the long game, and this is basically what Ezra did essentially. What was that 2 years ago now?
Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I think so.
It's been 80 years.
But I forgot when we were talking about Katrina Allen, I was starting to lean towards MVP, but I forgot on like a Reddit thread and a Facebook comment, someone who's like affiliated with them or works for them or something like confirmed that Katrina Allen's not going to MVP.
Let me just say, and we love MVP here. We're big MVP guys. MVP's awesome. But
I've never even thrown a zone in my life.
Whoever denied that allegation, why did you do that? Because there is no harm in people assuming, like, that's good for your company that people think that a top pro is going to you. And the more that people are talking, saying MVP in threads, that is good for your company. You don't need to go in there and say it's not happening. Like,
but my thing is like,
why did you do that?
Where does that leave? Like, where does that leave her possibly going? Discraft, but Discraft just lost. If Discraft picks her up and signs her to a bigger contract than Kristen and Konner, they might have no cash.
But here's I think they're cash rich, and maybe they're just like signing everybody to like short enough deals that they know they can cover themselves, even if they don't like. I mean, they're building a super team right now. I don't know. Maybe Discraft has like low key like investors or something.
Here's a question.
Are they going to go public?
In disc golf,
I want to see somebody in disc golf go public.
remember when Paul was going to Discraft and we all thought that Discraft was public?
Whenever Paul was going to Discraft, yeah, Hunter told like me and another guy that because we were all at a college tournament, and that's when Hunter told us. And the very first thing I thought, I was like, is Discraft public? Because I was like,
you convinced me Discraft was public.
I was like, I don't think I did that. I was like, I think I might have said, I bet they are. Because I was like, I don't know why. I didn't know anything about the disc golf business back
we were
then.
crazy.
I was just a disc golfer. I didn't know anything about the business side. And I was like, how would they know? Like, what if I was like, they're not gonna audit me if I just make a trade for a few $1,000.
Well, that was the thing that you said. I was like, that's literally insider trading. Like we have information we aren't allowed to trade on.
I was just banking on the fact the IRS
Trevor's
wouldn't care.
Trevor's like, but who would care if like a college student put in $50 into a Discraft stock and it turned into a few thousand?
Nobody.
He's like, no one's auditing that. And then I was like, you might be right. So then we looked it up and they were
nobody's public.
I wouldn't have actually made the trade.
Should we go public?
IRS. I would not have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
No, yeah, you were closer though. I was like, there was at least another bridge from. It's like on LinkedIn, you have like your second connections and your third connections.
Yeah.
I was like the third connection.
Yeah.
So I was in clear, and
I
I would have
sure
laundered the money too for sure. But I would have just had a distant relative.
I would have laundered the money, that's for sure.
I'd have cleaned that money up.
Okay, I saw this. This has nothing to do with disc golf, but it's fine.
You guys ever hear
I
the
saw this
theory
thing on
about,
TikTok.
mattress stores being money laundering?
Yeah,
ops?
yeah.
Okay,
I saw
just
this.
making sure we're on the same page.
Person on TikTok that was like, it was like that sound where everything's going good and then it's like boom and then like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of them like that.
Anyways, where everything's going good, so she's like standing there smiling. And it's like, got hired for a new HR position. And then it's her laying on the floor after the bump. And it's like, got put in jail for 2 years for embezzling money. I was like, wait, what the friction? You missed a whole lot in between there.
Well, I mean, hey, if you're working in HR, I guess you feel like you can get away with it.
But then everyone was responding like, yeah, I'm terrified I'm going to get caught for embezzling money. I'm like, what? You don't
Why
just
are you
like
commenting.
Yeah.
Well, also,
probably a good start would be not admitting it.
If you're terrified, like it's pretty obvious if you're stealing money from your company.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
It's not like
just don't put money in your bank account or take it from the register.
Yeah, like that's pretty straightforward.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, the question I was about to ask was,
how much are we embezzling? That was the question.
no, yeah, let me see
I'll
those bank
tell you.
statements. No, in disc golf. So like when Discraft signed Paul.
Yeah.
Discraft's stock went to the moon, right? Metaphorical stock, not real stock.
We should make a website with disc golf stock.
That'd be fun.
And we control the stock prices, and it's just like a fun money thing. Like it's not real money involved.
That would be a good time. But their brand went way up, right? Once you start adding in more players, at what point, like point is it a reach the diminishing return?
Right.
To where like you have Paul and you have Paige. Does adding, let's just say that they are able to land Katrina Allen. Does adding Chris Dickerson and Katrina Allen add anything to their brand?
Yeah, this is a good point. I would say like you got like the Paul move, and like those of you who aren't watching, big spike. You got the Page, big spike, and then you've got Dickerson, little blip compared to
But you're
that.
paying him like a big spike.
Right,
almost.
exactly. You're paying him
Because he deserves the money.
You're paying him big contract, but his impact is not the same spike. So yeah, it's like where is that line of like, is the money worth what he does for the brand? I don't think.
Because like the first,
I don't know their financials.
Comes,
that's where it's tough. Because it's like if Discraft is like, we just did so much better than everybody last year that we have the money to pay these players and we're going to do it and we can afford it and like just take that, everybody, then awesome. But if what I suspect is true, which is that I think they're a little bit in over their heads because they're making about a bajillion different discs
over their
to
head,
pay
like
players.
They're not about to go under. That's not what you mean by over their head. Okay, if you mean that, that's just silly.
No, I don't mean like tomorrow, but I mean like in a few years when they still have all these contracts. I'm telling you, man, you got to be careful. It would not shock me if you sign. What happens?
I think their profit margin will become slimmer because I think that a lot of these players won't make as much money as they do now. But profit margin becoming slimmer because you got to remember, Discraft has ultimate money without paying anyone for it.
Yeah, no, I mean
that's not going to magically dry
the company
up.
the company of Discraft. Yeah, you're right. It does have that safety security blanket, but I don't know. It just seems like they're getting in over their head because they're signing so much more players than anybody else. And the only other company that has similar money, Innova, is doing the exact opposite, which
Yeah.
is either a genius level play. Because we talked about it last week on the podcast, how we were like really confused with Innova, but then yesterday in the office, we kind of started talking, me, Hunter, and Brody were kind of talking about Innova and thinking, maybe they're actually onto something with this. Like maybe they're kind of like waiting out the storm in a sense, like seeing the crazy inflation of these players and thinking, maybe they think that the bubble's just going to pop eventually and they're going to be able to scoop in. And maybe the disc golf salary, this is kind of something I was thinking about. Maybe the real disc golf salary for like top of the line should only be $150,000 a year. Maybe that is what it should be. And maybe Innova knows that and they're just waiting for the bubble to burst so that then they can start getting players at the real value.
I do think that for the good of the sport, money should be going into purses a lot more than it is going into players.
That's the weird thing.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, there's no money in the purses. Because that was another thing we mentioned yesterday. It was like, what happens when most of the top players that are winning events are all multi-millionaires and they're collecting $15,000 prizes for winning tournaments?
Well, what's confusing to me is like you have eventually there's going to be more player because the parity in disc golf is getting bigger and bigger, right? Yeah. On FPO and MPO, to where you have right now Ricky and Paul, where they're both making $1 million a year. Eagle might this year. Last year he beat them on a pretty regular basis when he was playing tournaments.
Eagle should, by today's standards, though, Eagle should be making $500,000.
He should, but
kind of suspect the reason he's not making crazy money is
we don't know the money he's making.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is like Eagle will probably regularly beat them. Not probably, he might. He has a very solid chance at regularly beating Paul and Ricky, or at least being competitive with them where they're all on the same playing field. And he has a great brand. So by today's standards, he's worth $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Who can pay him $1 million a year?
Right.
That's where things are going to get confusing because then Calvin, what if Calvin is doing the same thing? Or Dickerson. To where they're like, hey, now we have 6 players that are winning, or they're all every week in contention. They all have solid fan bases. They all have solid brands. But then it's like, we can't pay all of them $1 million a year because there's realistically, I think there's 3 companies or 4 companies that can easily, I wouldn't even want to say easily, that can't afford it. And one of them's Innova, and Innova refuses to.
Yeah.
And so the other question, though, is like a company like Dynamic is taking a bet on Rick that basically he's going to be worth to them that $1 million a year. But Eagle to Dynamic, kind of what I was just saying, if Eagle came to Dynamic, then either Rick or Eagle aren't worth $1 million a year to Dynamic. Like once you have one top tier player, the next few top tier players you get don't really do anything for your brand in retrospect or like in comparison because that top tier player brings in
it's
that
just
thing.
Little bumps.
And they're little bumps, but you have to pay them. So it's almost like it's a team structure should almost be your top MPO and top FPO player. And then after that, you should have like 25 like players in like the 20 to 25 in the world rankings be your next players.
Yeah.
Because that in between space, you're going to have to pay them a lot more money and you're not going to get that return because you're double dipping in the same audience that the top tier.
Right. Yeah. No,
it's a very confusing space.
It is very confusing. I think there is some sort of a bubble that is going to pop at some point because the weird thing too is like it almost comes down to the timing of when players' contracts just happen to end.
Yeah.
Or they decide to end them for themselves based on like who's getting these deals because like certain players would be worth more. Like it's like for example, like Eagle is worth more than Dickerson, but Eagle re-signed and like if certain players' contracts would have been up this year and they would have been open to signing, maybe they could have got the expensive deals. Almost like who was just in the right place at the right time to get the cap room that was available. Because that's the other thing is companies right now seem to be very eager and almost desperate at sometimes to sign players when they can, like when they have the chance to grab somebody. I wonder now too, like is there like bidding wars going on? Like I don't know. It is very interesting, but
well, I think the issue,
I don't know.
More so, I think the bubble that's going to pop is the way that most companies, the new standard in how you like pay a player or make your money back is custom and signature runs.
That's the biggest problem.
The issue is back in the day, we were actually talking about this with the Sex and Firebird last night, some on debate night, but in general, back in the day, limited exclusive runs were very rare.
Yeah.
To where if you got Ledgestone, great example. If you got a Crystal Sparkle Buzz from Ledgestone, that might be the only time you saw a Crystal Sparkle Buzz in like 2 years. Even Crystal Buzzes.
Yeah.
I remember I went to a tournament and I bought a $25 Crystal Buzz, and it was like the sickest disc I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And because you couldn't find crystal plastic anywhere. Now, Crystal Sparkle Buzz doesn't even excite me because I've seen it so many times because they're released over and over.
Yeah.
And so many different plastics, not just Discraft, across the board. And so when you have players that are signing and your immediate response is like, all right, let's start doing some custom stamps for you. Let's start doing custom runs. The disc golf market isn't big enough yet to where like,
well, it's just not growing as fast as the amount of discs that are getting out there.
To where now, because like, it's a good example too is like Brody's Get Freakies, right?
Yeah.
First Get Freaky drops didn't sell out. The first drop of anything typically doesn't sell out. Once it took a long time, it sold out. Once it sold out, the collector market happened, of where people saw, hey, it's worth more than the $20 I paid for it. Now it's worth $30.
Right.
So when the second one came around, boom, sold out. Why? Because you know I pay 20 for it. It's same thing with Sexton Firebird. I pay 20 for it. The next day it's worth 30. So what that does is people who aren't fans of Brody, who aren't buying it for the Dark Horse logo on it, who aren't fans of Sexton, who aren't buying it for Sexton's name on it, are now buying the disc because they know they can flip it.
Yeah.
They're buying the disc because they know it's collectible. And the people who are buying the collectible are buying it because they know the next year it's going to be worth more. So then you see Brody's Get Freakies, because they were so limited, get, boom, sold out. And then as it gets more and more hyped, he drops a Crystal Glow Meteor or whatever, and you can't expect the same hype as the Get Freaky because it's a new market.
Right.
Sexton Firebirds, they were making a good amount to where they were selling out. And now this year, because there's so much flooding on the market in general, a Sexton Firebird I think you can still buy right now, 2021, Sexton Firebird. Pretty sure we saw them on retail sites last night. Because the question that was posed was like, would you rather have one signature disc that sold out immediately or 5? And I said 1, because if I have 5, and this is kind of the issue I think we're running into sometimes. If I have 5 signature discs, let's say I was a top player, you could buy a Hunter Thomas, Rock 3, Leopard 3, Destroyer, and Thunderbird. And they were just wildly available. The only people buying those are people who are fans of me. That's it. But if I have just a Hunter Thomas Thunderbird and it's a limited disc, if it sells out, then the next time we can make a few more, and the next time we can make a few more, and because if they keep selling out, people who aren't fans of me are going to buy the disc because it's the collectability. Because like Sexton's a great example. 2015 through 2018, I tried everything to get my hands on Sexton Firebirds. If it was a widely available disc, I was a fan of disc golf. I was a fan of Nate Sexton, but I wasn't a big enough fan to throw a disc just because it had Sexton's logo on it.
Yeah, people were buying them mostly, like they were great discs, but people were mostly stocking up on them because they knew they were going to be valuable.
I would buy 2, I'd flip one, and then I'd put one in my bag as a flex because like I was throwing a Sexton Firebird. I was freaking sick. Everyone wanted to. But again, I wasn't a diehard enough Sexton fan to buy like a Jomez Big Sexy stamp or something like that. Right? But when it's a limited edition, it's sold out, I was. All of that to say that I think the issue some companies are going to run into is now that every player who joins Discraft is like releasing different buzzes or something. Then when I go onto the website and I want to buy a buzz, I have my stock buzz, or I have 15 different players with their stamp on a buzz.
Yeah.
And Chris Dickerson, great player, but if I'm a bigger fan of Paul, I'm going to buy Paul's buzz. So now you're kind of, Brody was talking about this, and I didn't agree with him at first, but I think I do now. You're creating competition within itself, and basically your most popular player is going to win. And so now it's like, hey, we can't make money on Dickerson. The Ledgestone is even the best example, I think, of all time, because years ago, Ledgestone, super exclusive, super limited, couldn't get your hands on it. Now it's been done not by only Ledgestone, but like we've run custom run Discraft, Infinite's run it, OTB, all these different, everyone and their mom is running custom run Discraft.
Yeah.
To where when Ledgestone rolls around, it just doesn't feel that exclusive and special anymore.
Right.
So what does it do? It's sitting on the shelf a little bit.
Yeah.
When like a few years ago, that's unheard of because you get, like I said, you get in a
Just
Crystal Sparkle Buzz.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you get in a Crystal Sparkle Buzz 2-3 years ago, sickest disc on the market.
Right.
Unbelievable. You get a Crystal Sparkle Buzz in now, it's like, yeah, I think I could use a backup.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, and it's interesting because although they're like you mentioned, like the competition within the team, like it could be difficult for a guy like Dickerson. The thing is, most of the pressure is being put on the companies because players are now expecting guaranteed money. What I've seen, the pattern seems to be that even the guys and girls that have contracts that are super high with a lower guarantee, it always seems like they're making sure their guarantee is enough for them to have a good living.
Yeah.
That seems to be like what Dickerson mentioned in his post. So, Dickerson can be like, yeah, I might not get the full value of my contract, but Discraft has to pay me no matter how many discs of mine they sell.
And it's putting Discraft in a little bit of a weird spot.
Right. So like they're now with all this guaranteed money, essentially, the companies are at the end of the day are going to be the ones liable for that.
That's what the more I think through this offseason, the more I wonder if Enova's laughing at all of us.
They might be.
Because here's the thing the thing I keep coming back to, and it's Enova's either idiots or geniuses. I don't know which it is.
Well, I think they're just gambling a little bit.
The thing I keep coming back to is if I'm Enova and Paul Macbeth leaves my company, and if that hurt me sales-wise drastically, there's no way I'm letting Ricky walk. There's no way. Mm-hmm. So unless Enova has to either be idiots or geniuses, because if I see that and Paul leaves and we tank, I'm paying Ricky whatever he wants. But they didn't do it. So what that tells me is Enova must know something by all their data points and stuff that we don't. Because last year, if you look at sales numbers from everyone who releases their sales, Enova's still atop of the leaderboard last year. Will it be this year?
Well,
probably.
Here's the thing. If Enova gets the majority of their sales from sporting goods stores, and here's the thing that we don't know that they might know, they might have 5 years left on their deal with all these sporting goods stores. So they might be thinking, all right, see ya guys. But we know that 85% of our sales are going to come from a place that can't be touched for 5 years. Mm-hmm. We've got time to rebuild.
Well, another thing I've said is, because we talked about Dick's Sporting Goods and how Enova could be in trouble because they'd put up a stanchion of dynamic discs and it says two-time world champ Ricky.
That's where I see the gamble.
But here's the thing. If I walk in, I don't know anything about disc golf, and I see two-time world champ Ricky with dynamic, five-time world champ Paul with Discraft, Enova can still put 12-time world champion Ken Climo.
Right.
3-time world champ Barry Schultz. You're not going to know those are from the 90s. Why would you care? You're going to be like, the best players throw this plastic.
The only gamble would be if Enova, if their contract were to be up with, let's say, Dick's Sporting Goods, because that's the biggest example, it seems like. If their contract were to go up, the only gamble would be if they were just assuming that they're just going to renew without looking at the market and looking into disc golf to see what the pulse of disc golf is. Because I think if somebody did do that, and if somebody working there knew disc golf at all, they would think about switching to Discraft, maybe.
But I don't know if they would switch or just add.
I don't know. Well, that could cut into Enova's share, but I don't. They probably know that's not the case. Heck, they probably have a great relationship with those companies, and that just might be the case at the end of the day. In which case, Enova is in a wonderful spot if they don't have to invest in players to be financially secure at this point. I think it hurts. I still think it hurts their image. It
definitely hurts their image.
And I think they're losing potential revenue because I think everybody that's coming into the sport from Paul leaving to now is leaning towards, everybody who's coming into sport eventually is leaning towards Discraft, once they get past the I just went to the sporting goods store phase. So I think they're losing potential revenue, but I think that as long as they're still shipping out, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of discs to sporting goods stores, then, there's not going to be a huge issue financially, and it does make them it's like basically having the salary instead of having the freelance job, it's just kind of knowing that you're comfortable because you've got that guaranteed money coming in. That's the other thing is when what they're shipping out to those sporting goods stores, it's just always the same thing. It's the easy to make, boring stuff. That's the easiest thing ever. As long as your production is up, that's just a piece of cake right there. They're not having to push some special disc. There's something to be said for getting there first. The early bird gets the worm.
That's what I'm saying, though. A lot of people are talking about Enova, and we've been guilty of it, and saying how they seem like they don't know what's going on. They seem out of touch. But the more I just sit back and look at it, I'm like, that could be true. They could be out of touch, or we're all out of touch. and Innova is like, guys, y'all are a bunch of idiots.
They have been doing this longer than everybody. So
Yeah.
it's like they might just...
It's going to be an interesting thing. Back to the original question. Let's bring it full circle here.
Bring it full circle.
Where is Katrina? First off, I don't know which one of us is breathing into our mic, but my ears are about to rip these headphones off my ears because it's very annoying to me. Don't know if it's me or one of you two,
I
but
have no idea.
Let's all practice. Ready? I'm going to go first.
Yep, that's it right there.
All right,
that
now,
was
Trevor,
it.
you go.
Nope. Hate to say it, Konner. I hate to say it, Konner.
I heard it yours quite loud as well.
Maybe
Well,
you're
I
just
pushed
turned up.
harder.
Maybe you're just turned up more in our ears. Your voice does sound louder.
I went
in our
louder
ears.
there.
You want me to turn it down?
Turn yourself down in our ears a little bit.
All right, fine. You don't get any.
Beautiful. All right.
Nice.
I actually still could hear you. When is Kat going to announce, and why is she waiting so long?
Well, I think this is kind of like what I was saying with the MVP thing. Like, why would you deny allegations? Because the longer your company's name is on people's minds, that's a good thing. Similar thing with Kat. Why would you announce? Like, you want to announce? I think you should announce a little bit before the season starts to like help maybe sell some discs like at the right time. But like if the longer, like right now, the only thing we're talking about with off season is Kat. That's all we're talking about, and that's great for her.
That is true.
True.
Like it's keeping her very
Do you think
relevant.
that she's already throwing the discs? That's
yeah.
the only issue.
Oh yeah.
How has it not been leaked?
I think it because
how are people
because
not going
maybe
to the
they
course?
finally learned their lesson. Maybe they
Or you
finally.
think she's throwing like a full blank bag?
No, like I don't like.
Maybe it is infinite, so she's still throwing her prodigy bag. So no one knows anything because they're like, man, she's still throwing prodigy.
Well, maybe she's throwing blank molds. Like that would be pretty smart. Like if I were switching to somewhere and trying not to reveal it, I would just ask them to send me blanks to practice with. That's not a stretch, is it?
I don't think so.
I think it's got to be locked in by now. And
Well, it's definitely locked in. I'm just.
yeah, I think it's
I want to
either going to be
know.
Discraft or Infinite.
I still got this. I'm more saying this because if I'm right, I want to be able to be like, I told you all because no one's going to guess it. I still have this inkling of DGA.
If it is, let's make a bet. What's the bet?
That would
Let's
just
say-
be,
It would have to be a very low bet because
That would
I'm
be
not that
crazy.
confident. in my
Let's
take.
say if it's DGA, I have to change my putter to steadies for the rest of the year.
But what do I have to do if it's not DGA?
If it isn't DGA, you have to change your putter to steadies for the rest
Yeah,
of the
see,
year.
no, that's way too big. Way too big. I'll put a blizzard on it.
That's not big enough.
That's how.
Okay,
but
I'll do the steady thing if she goes DGA because I feel like the odds are definitely in my favor on this move. You would
Okay.
agree with that.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't go to DGA,
Yeah, I'm not super confident, so you got to give me something that's like.
if she doesn't go to DGA, I'm gonna think on it. We'll get back to this.
I'll like wear a
later.
DGA hat for a podcast.
That is so stupid.
that's the-
I used to have a DGA hat, by the way. I wish I still had it. It was like a flex fit. It was sick. It had a disc golf like their basket logo on it. Absolutely dope.
All right. At the end of the podcast, you'll tell me. You got the rest of the podcast. Think it.
No, wait. This is it. You have to get me a Shasta Crist autographed disc. I don't care how you do it. You somehow get it for me. I think you could do it. I think you could pull it off. You could definitely pull.
I could probably find someone in like.
You could definitely pull the strings. Or Peter McBride.
I could definitely get a Peter McBride.
One of the two.
So I could just DM him and be like, yo,
Two
I'll pay you $20.
Two
you send me.
DGA legends. And
Peter McBride, I don't even think he's not with DGA anymore.
No, but he'd do it.
What about an Andrew Marweed signature disc? Because he's with DGA now.
Autographed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine too.
Okay. So
One
if
of those three.
if Kat goes to DGA,
I'm changing.
you're
to
changing to
steadies
steadies for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
If Kat doesn't, which she most likely isn't,
I'm
then
getting an autographed disc.
I'll get you an autographed Andrew Marweed disc.
Okay. There. Deal.
There we go. All right. That's fine. We can do that. That makes sense. So
I mean, she's probably announcing as
wait,
we talk.
I need to. All right. I need to say this so we can clip it for Instagram and post it like I said it super confidently. Look, guys, I'm just telling you. hey, no laughing during this. This is for Instagram. All right. Everyone,
okay.
we need this to go viral. All right. Just everyone calm down. This is for the good of the podcast. All right. Look, guys, I am telling you, you can laugh all you want. Katrina Allen is going to DGA. I don't care what anyone says. People are going to be crazy. They got that basket money, and they're drawing her in. It's her first sponsor, and she's coming home.
This man, I've heard you say basket money so many times.
Hey, it's been clipped.
Do you
Doesn't
think,
matter.
Do you think
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
they have to use all that basket money to pay their players?
I don't know. I don't even know they have basket money. That's
Yeah,
just my
what even
theory.
is that?
I would
Maybe just to
be-
pay their rent.
I would be
That's just my theory. It's probably-
so blown away if she went to DGA.
I would be too.
I would be too. But
floored.
Instagram's not going to know that.
Your biggest, like, the only thing that makes me not check you into a mental institute is because that was her first sponsor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I put you in a home right now.
Well, she also could throw. You have to remember, she could throw.
Right now.
She could throw Discraft.
Yeah,
If she was
but
with
like,
DGA.
But like, it just didn't. There's no way they have that much money.
No, I agree.
way.
I agree.
They're gonna have to pay her $500,000 total over a certain amount of years, at least.
I agree. It would be the most shocking move of all time.
I really hope the numbers come out because we don't really know what Paige's contract is. When is Paige's contract up?
Let's do some research.
Nice.
Remember whenever I used to?
It's a red and link.
I'm really excited.
You used to be a typer.
I'm really excited for when the Finnish FPO players and the two, like, obviously
Or more so whenever
Kristen's
it starts.
Estonian, but she just signed. But when Hannah and Evelina like pop off,
That was a stupid
I didn't
joke.
even hear what you said. What did you say?
Really,
You said Finnish FPO players, and then Konner goes, I'm more excited for when it starts.
Nice one.
thanks. Continue.
But I'm excited to see because at least is Henna with
Henna's with Innova.
Innova as
and
well.
Evelina.
Yeah, they're both with Innova. And what happens when they dominate this season? And then, like, is Innova going to pay them competitive FPO salary, like, compared to what Kristen got and what Kat's about to get? And what
just
Konner
says
got?
multi-year deal in 2019.
It's multi-year deal. When?
Paige Pierce multi-year deal 2019.
Why do I feel like it was a 4-year deal? Why have I heard that?
I don't know.
Maybe that's just a number that's sticking in my head. Okay.
But I can't find. I don't see.
Well, it's got to be up
a
in the
year.
next year or two, probably.
Yeah.
Unless she's what did she extend though?
I don't know. I just searched Ultiworld Paige Pierce contract.
Interesting.
I feel like I remember. For some reason, I feel like I've
Sports
heard
Illustrated
4 as well.
Reported that Paige earned $500,000 in 2020.
I've heard that number thrown out.
Well, that's on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, well,
Her latest sponsorship, Discraft, multiplied her salary tenfold, and she made about $500,000 in 2020 betwing her sponsorship contract.
Maybe manufacturers
and
would
tournament
just,
winnings.
would
Sports
just,
Illustrated is kind of the TMZ.
Well, it says
of
that's funny. It says she made about $500,000 in 2020 between sponsorship contract, tournament winnings, and Patreon/YouTube accounts. So Paige told her. Paige told them. This, I
Yeah,
mean, you're not
yeah.
factoring in Patreon and YouTube accounts.
If we pose as like an actual media company, will people tell us how much they make?
Hi, yeah, my name's Hunter Thomas. I'm with the LA Times. I'm just trying to get a little bit more information on the contract you just signed.
If you just want to send me like a W-2, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if you could just send me your tax return
are you
from
paying
last
taxes?
year, that'd be
Are
great.
you paying tax?
Most likely to be doing tax
This is
evasion
Hunter-
on tour.
That should be an in the bag. That's an in
No,
the bag
it's basically who's a bad slimy person.
No, because I think that some disc golfers just don't understand it because I've been told by not touring pros.
People think that if you get paid in cash, you don't have to report
I've been
it in
told
your
by
income.
multiple people that were like, "Hey, if you could pay me in cash, that would be great because that way I don't have to pay taxes on it." And I'm like, "That's not how it works."
If you get audited, they're going to go to the PDGA
Like,
site and
if
see
I
where
write you a check, which is they actually want like physical cash because they're like checks too trackable. But like if I hand you a $600 envelope, you're getting a W-9 from me. Like I don't care who you are. Well, it's $601. If you're getting like if I pay out $750 to you, you're getting a W-9. Like I don't care if you report it, I have to report it.
taxes, man.
But people were like, yeah, dude, if I paid everything in cash and make $25,000, it doesn't matter. Because then like I got a bunch of cash, I don't have to report to the IRS. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
Until the IRS sees that you've got like
Yeah,
$200
because
in
there's
your
this little
account,
thing
but you're
called-
spending thousands of dollars.
There's this little thing called the PDGA.com that has a record of your earnings.
True.
And if you got audited, they could very easily
I
find
wonder-
out how much you brought in.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like on the low, like some C tier activity where guys are like paying off the tournament directors to say they didn't accept cash or something.
Well, I have wondered that before. If someone's like,
There-
hey,
it would not-
I
if
want to
you
keep
were-
my AM status, so can you just decline cash, but instead of merch, just give me the money?
Yeah, I would say it wouldn't be that difficult if he was like, I'll slide you $40 in my winnings.
Well, or if you're just like really good friends and the
I'm
guy's
gonna
like, dude, I want to play
become
AM
a
Worlds.
PDGA private investigator.
Yeah. All right. Well, that topic
That'd be a
went
fun-
way longer than I
fun
meant to.
video.
Let's get into some Shelly Sharp results. You heard that
We
right.
got results.
We got a tournament that happened, and Anthony Barella looked freaking good as always
The king,
in Arizona.
the king.
The
So
Arizonian
he's known
king.
as the king.
the king.
They call him that.
In
the
my
boy king.
mind.
Oh, the boy
the
king?
Arizonian boy king.
Oh.
Anthony Barella.
What?
That's really catchy. Just
They
rolls
call
off
him
the
that?
tip of
Yeah.
your tongue.
That's not
You never
real.
heard that?
The Arizona boy.
I'm being
king. He's-
gaslit.
Yeah, you are.
No, Arizonian Boy King.
The Arizonian.
Why
boy
is he
king.
the?
Because he's the king of Arizona, and he
is the
until
king.
recently he was
He's
still a
the
boy.
king of the world. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
All right, so the Arizonian Boy King, Anthony Barella, he went 10-62. We don't talk about ratings. He went 50, 53, 51, won by 1 stroke over Kale LaVisca, who popped off with a 47 final round to come up. Biggest story here, Drew Gibson came in third. Biggest story here, Adam Hammes.
Is Kale the best disc golfer ever to be named after a vegetable?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
What's another one?
Nobody's named Leak last time I checked, so go ahead.
Why is that the first thing you'd go to? Adam Hammes finished in 9th. 7 strokes out of the lead.
That's not good.
He struggled final round 58.
Well, you know what's funny is we all remember him popping off at the Shelly Sharp last year, but really it was just him making every single 50-footer. So it's not like he was even throwing that well. He just didn't miss any putts from anywhere near sight of the basket. So maybe he just didn't make them this year.
I watched the coverage this year, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. No one blew my mind.
Rusty.
No one looked incredible. Anthony Barella looked pretty good, but he had some dumb mistakes.
Everybody's rusty.
Drew Gibson looked pretty good, but I did see him miss at least one 15-footer.
Dang it, Drew.
Hammes looked shaky. I mean, he was
He's
in contention.
Got that big contract money.
He was in contention
He's
still,
probably got a new
but
bonus structure too. Imagine your Hammes. They Discraft just handed you an extension. Probably has like a fat A-tier bonus, and you're thinking, I'm about to collect. First A-tier year, I own this A-tier, and you go out there and you realize, man, the weight of the world's on your shoulders.
second note, I heard there's some hype around Austin Turner returning to the tour. I forgot he was even in this tournament. 'Cause
He won
came
the
in,
Myrtle Beach Open,
He
didn't
came
he?
in 20th.
Didn't he win the Myrtle Beach thing, or did Dickerson win that?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Austin Turner had a lot of promise and then just kind of disappeared.
on his
from disc
name real
golf.
quick so I
I
can-
don't know what happened.
Click on his name so I can
I think
see.
he got injured actually. He's a pretty sick lefty.
Austin Turner
2021.
when he got what happened at the Myrtle Beach. Imagine he didn't.
Did he even?
play
I
it.
don't think he didn't even play it. No, he did. Myrtle Beach
Thank
Open. He came in
goodness.
second.
I thought it was. Yeah, I think Dickerson beat him.
He won the Charleston Classic the next
Yeah,
weekend,
I-
and then came in second at
He's
the
still
Arizona
alright.
State.
He could get it
Championship.
back. He could get it back. He was
Yeah, I mean
sick.
he's 1028 rated.
He was sick when he was emerging on tour. He was the next big thing.
And then
he had what was his disc? What was his signature disc?
I don't remember.
When I very first
Supreme Flight ran a sick wolf stamp with him.
maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was like a wolf Austin Turner wolf stamp. I remember because when we bought Supreme Flight, there was still 30 of them, and I put one in my bag because it looked sick.
Did he have a vulture?
Yes.
Yes, that's what it was.
He did.
So sick.
On FPO side, we had Jennifer Allen cleaning house, winning by 9 strokes over Callie McMorrin, and then Owen Scoggins, who's in my FPO top 20, I believe, lost by 18.
Yeah, that's a tough look.
That's a
for
tough
you.
look for me. But I also have Adam Hammes in my top 10, and
I think I have him at.
I think we just need to, I think we just need to take Shelly Sharp with a grain of salt. This was just knocking off some offseason rust.
Yeah, well, the Shelly Sharp last year made me think that Adam Hammes was going to win Worlds.
Yeah, you sent out a tweet.
No.
last year
Remember what I
that
tweeted?
said
Remember I tweeted he's going to win.
multiple times.
I
on
said he's
tour.
going to win multiple times,
And he was.
And he did.
He was a multiple tour winner.
Crystal ball.
Your
So,
dad called you out a little bit after you tweeted that.
I think I said he's going to win at least twice, and that's why it was
He
a
called you
little-
crazy.
He told me to pump the brakes,
Yeah, I'm gonna find your tweet.
and guess what he did?
He won twice.
at least twice.
All right, while I find Trevor's
Take that,
tweet,
Dad.
Yeah, you proud of me now? While I find Trevor's tweet, it's time for Trevor's trivia. So what do you got?
Oh,
Trevor?
okay.
Today's segment, Trevor's tweet.
That'd be fun.
Is there a good way to search a tweet? Can I find?
If you
Trevor,
just Google
Adam,
it, if you Google Trevor Staub Twitter, Adam Hammes,
Adam Hammes.
that might get you there.
No,
No, on
latest.
Google.
Well, I know that.
No, on the Google bar. No, go to google.com. Okay. The trivia today, we played this game once before and it was really fun.
Cool.
So I brought it back. I didn't get as many
Found it.
questions this time.
That was really fast.
It's got
Oh.
rock, paper,
Just gonna
and
let y'all know
scissors.
ahead of time. Adam Hammes is gonna win at least twice on the Pro Tour this year. Dude looks scary.
What did he do?
He didn't win twice on the Pro Tour.
And what did he do?
He won once on the National Tour.
Okay, same
But
thing.
same thing. And your dad said, let's pump the brakes a little. He's played well, but he's beaten pretty weak fields on open courses so far. Did you quote tweet yourself?
You got
Yeah, I
freaking
definitely quote
wrecked.
tweeted myself.
It says quote tweet, but when I click it, there's nothing to see here.
That's weird.
I'm going to
I
quote tweet it.
tweeted myself and was like, why are you doing that now?
What are you doing?
Everyone remember This is old news. You taking my Twitter clout? All right, the game today we're gonna play is, I think, a favorite of Connor's, and it's
sick.
Is it baseline?
Oh,
that's a great
I did
game.
like this game. That was fun. It also made me really nervous for some reason.
So this time I've got 5 different plastics from some of our more obscure manufacturers that we're not as familiar with, and there's a simple question: is it baseline?
Is it baseline?
Is it baseline? So the first plastic is called. What is going on out there?
I think they're getting ready to paint.
Okay, the first plastic is called TPE. That's it.
Do you give us
TPE?
brand or it's just
TPE. No, I'm not going to give you the brand. I might help you.
You want to go first, Connor? Or
Like
me?
the letter,
I want,
capital letters, TPE, like it's an acronym.
I
All right, I'll go
have my
first.
guess. Okay, go for it.
I think it's base. I am pretty confident it's baseline.
See, I'm pretty confident it's premium.
Wow.
It feels premium. TPE.
What is it? What's
Okay.
the deal, Trevor?
It is baseline.
Yeah. It just
XCOM
had like
discs.
XCOM?
XCOM discs.
XCOM.
What is that?
It's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Connor's trivia. All right. The next, so 1-0 to Connor. The
Boom.
next plastic is Whirlpool.
Whirlpool.
Is that me? No, it's you. You won. You go ahead.
That is a premium plastic.
I want to point back, so I'm going to say baseline. I have no idea, though.
It is a premium plastic from Wild Discs.
Wild discs.
Wow.
Ooh, nothing. If Connor wins this next one, he wins by default.
Boom.
There's only 5?
Yeah.
It just sounded like a premium plastic.
Man, good
Dang.
stuff. This,
You go first this time, Hunter.
the next one is called
Well, you
S
don't have to.
Plastic.
S
S
plastic.
plastic.
I mean, that could mean anything.
Not to be confused with S line.
That could mean anything, but I'm
Ooh.
going. Pick a number between 1 and 2.
Do you want me to just to go first?
I want you to pick a number, 1 or 2.
My answer is gonna be the same either way. Just let you know.
Okay, that's fine. You
my
pick
answer.
a number.
My answer is
No.
Pick the
my
number.
My answer for what number I'm picking is number 2.
Number 2. That's baseline.
I'm also saying baseline. Sounds
Aw,
like I think it's
copycat.
baseline.
It is baseline.
Heck yeah.
From Soon Discs.
Soon.
SUNE.
So best I can do is tie you now.
Okay.
So I
Two
have to go
more.
opposite of you. So you just go first on these last 2.
All right.
Next we have
I'm gonna get them right anyway.
Storm Plastic.
Storm. Oh, that is Dang, I just wanted to come right
No,
against confidently,
okay.
but I couldn't.
Storm disc is what I'm thinking of.
No, it's not
That's
Storm
not,
Discs.
that's not the
Storm.
same.
Storm Plastic.
Dang it.
Don't get it twisted.
Storm. Storm is a baseline plastic.
All right, got to go premium.
It is a premium
Let's
plastic.
go. Come back.
From
Come back.
Viking Discs.
So it's 2-1.
The last one.
dude, I said-
Chance of the tie. Maybe we'll have to pull up a tiebreaker.
No, let's make this worth 2.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
No, okay. No,
No, it's
that's-
worth
that's
two.
No,
okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's
I'm
worth
sorry.
two.
I'm
No,
It's
sorry.
worth
we'll bring
two.
up a tiebreaker if I get it. That's more fair.
Okay.
That's more fair.
All
Let's
right.
not change the rules mid-game.
The last one is Alpine Plastic. Alpine.
Alpine is a baseline plastic.
I'm pretty sure it is baseline, but I'll say premium for the game.
It is a premium plastic.
Let's
Dang
go!
it, really?
Wow, I thought it was
AGL.
baseline.
Yeah, I know. It was
From
AGL.
AGL.
I
Yeah, I
thought I
thought-
remembered Alpine being a baseline.
I thought it did too.
Maybe
I
I,
knew-
should
whenever
double
you
check
said it, I knew
myself.
it was
Maybe I
AGL.
should double check
No,
myself.
no, you
But
already
I'm pretty
said
sure
it.
it retailed for like 18
We're tied
bucks.
2-2.
So
2-2.
Whenever you said it, I knew it was AGL, and I was like, "Oh, this is one that I know," and then I got so
Okay.
excited.
let me
So we just need a tiebreaker.
let me
All right, fine. For all the marbles, I'll go first. Champion plastic.
I'm gonna pull up another brand here.
You want a
Pick
real premium
one.
plastic? You guys got to get that new Lucid X plastic. That stuff is good, and I'm not a Trilogy fanboy, but that plastic feels good.
Lucid X?
Yeah.
They're new Lucid in general.
Yeah, sorry, their new Lucid plastic.
But what's weird is like they're still putting out some runs that aren't the new Lucid, so you have to like pick and choose.
because
You'd have to use a site like foundationdisc.com where you can like see the picture to make sure it's.
I just
new.
wish something like that existed.
Yeah.
What in the
Yeah.
world is this? Okay, here we go. The tiebreaker plastic. A medium. That's the plastic. A medium.
You want me to go first? You've been going first a lot,
Yeah, go ahead.
so it's up to
Go
you.
ahead.
I'll let you decide who goes first and who goes second. I don't know what's the advantage.
I don't either. I'm just gonna say you go first, just to make things
All
interesting.
right, I'll go premium.
Okay, well then I will go. I was gonna answer baseline.
Okay. It is premium.
Poop. Wow. It sounded like a baseline. It did sound like a baseline.
The plastic is from a company called Disc Stroyer from Estonia. It's an Estonian company.
What are their other plastics?
I didn't even get that far.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just
fine.
picked the very expensive one that was shiny and very much premium.
Nice. Perfect.
Sometimes you just have to pass the eyeball test.
All right. Trevor and I both, we did this last year. We're going to do it every year now. Both have dropped our preseason top 20s. Trevor's actually, at the recording, hasn't been posted yet, so I haven't even seen Trevor's. But I think that, so you don't even know what people hate on. So I'll let you kind of defend what you think people are going to come after you for.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the hate yet.
You haven't got the hate yet.
I wrote at the top of mine that I wanted people to just annihilate me on social media.
So here's what
I really encourage that.
The biggest thing I got hate for was putting James Conrad at number 19.
And
a few things here. Number one, this is a preseason top 20. That doesn't preseason polls wouldn't exist. Preseason top 20s wouldn't exist if it was just last year's rankings.
In defense of Hunter, for everybody that was like, it's one thing, you're allowed to debate these lists.
Yeah,
but most
that's the point of
people,
them.
everybody's debates that they brought to Hunter with his positioning of players was last year's statistics.
Even some people went back. They're like, you can't put a multiple-time major champion at number 19.
Which,
and I was like,
this list,
yes, I can.
this is what we were predicting will happen this season. If you want the top 20 from last season, just look at the earnings.
Yeah, because
earnings list from 2021.
I basically used last season's results to help guide this, so people would ask for my explanation.
You could put James Conrad at number 1, and you couldn't technically say that he's.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say he's a little bit crazy, but like that could just be what Hunter thinks is going to happen.
I think based on the response I was getting on Twitter, I don't think people would have thought I was crazy.
Yeah,
put him at number 1. I don't.
People
Y'all are
love
crazy.
James Conrad.
Well, it's great for MVP that people aren't seeing the 34th place finishes that he put up. They're only seeing first place at Worlds. It's great for MVP.
Worlds is very blinding. When you win a major, it definitely
because
is blinders.
Basically people were asking me like, why on earth would you do that? And so I was like, well, this is like what influenced my decision. I used his last year performance. Well, then people were like, oh, this is all based on last year's. And they're like, then why on earth would you put Sexton and all these other people ahead of him? I'm like, well, because with Sexton, like last year he didn't play a ton.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if Sexton's doing a full tour, I think he's the 12th best player in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm using last year's to influence my opinion, but it's my opinion. I think that Andrew Presnell, Gannon Burr, Mason Ford, Nate Sexton, Andrew Marweed, Vino McKell, I think they're all better than James Conrad this upcoming year.
All right.
I hope I'm wrong. I love James Conrad. I love
give a lot of
MVP.
credit to Vino.
But I did. But I think I especially someone was like, you really think Gannon Burr? Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if Gannon Burr ended in the top 10 this year.
Yeah.
Gannon Burr is disgusting, and
really
he's
good.
17 years old, and everyone should be scared of him.
And he plays a lot.
On the FPO side, I didn't really get any hate for my top 10, per se, which, I mean, is fair. I think I locked in the top 10 players. I'm pretty happy with it. On the FPO side, I did get some hate for putting Katrina Allen 5th, mainly because I put a line in here that in my head made sense, but when you're just reading it, it might not. I said I think her putting struggles are holding her back from being elite. In my head, an elite FPO player is like one of the top like 2 or 3 players in the world. And with her being 5th, I was saying like it's holding her back from getting to that level. Yeah. Where like Katrina Allen's obviously an elite player. She's
I almost think it's
world
almost
champion.
like you can't consider somebody like, I think you were held back because it's weird to have like one of the best players have a very obvious weakness in their game.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Like when you think about Paige, I don't think she has an obvious weakness.
No, she just has like some tournaments that she plays bad, but like it's not like, man, if she could just figure out, she'd be good.
Exactly. Like
that's
for
what's weird.
Kat, it's like the putting is the obvious weakness of her game.
Yeah.
She throws better than probably anybody.
But regardless, I put her 5th in the world, and people are coming after me.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The people I put in front of her, Paige Pierce, Kristen Tatar, Evelina Solin, and Hannah Blomers, if you'd put head-to-head Katrina Allen against any of them, I'm picking them more than I'm picking Katrina Allen out of 10. It might be 6-4, but when I'm looking at the list, I was like, you know what? Should I put Katrina Allen higher? And I was like, well, no, I think Hannah's better than her. I think Evelina's better than her. I think Kristen's better than her. And I think Paige is better than her. Yeah. I really thought I was going to get some hate for putting Valerie Mandujano above Konner. I legitimately think I think Valerie Mandujano is the best, talent-wise, the best player on DD. I think Konner's worth more because of her social media, but I think Valerie's the better player. And then I thought people were going to get mad because I put Haley at number 7 in the world. No one even mentioned that. So apparently I'm not the only one that thinks that way. But yeah, I mean, could I be over exaggerating how good Kristen, Evelyn, and Henna are? Yes. Am I? No. At least I don't think so.
There you go.
But Trevor, I haven't seen your list, but tell me your ones that you think people are gonna be upset at you
I'm
for.
gonna sort of tease my list a little bit.
Well, they've already seen it.
Well, they might not have.
They might not have read it. That's fair.
This is being released very close to when the podcast comes out.
That's very
so
fair.
I'm going to tease it enough that if you haven't read it yet, you're going to need to go look at it. So scumbag me, I guess. But the things that I would think would be slightly controversial in my list, I have Conrad ranked better than you did.
Where'd you put him?
I have him at 13.
Okay.
I feel like I can bet on Conrad. My main reason for bumping him a little higher is I feel like
You saw the hate I was getting on Twitter?
no.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Like that matters. Mostly, believe me, if I was worried about the hate, I wouldn't have done what I did with my top 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, tease. But mostly because it's his second year with MVP, so he's going to have some added comfortability. He'll start a little quicker this year.
Okay.
That's why I have him there. I think I have Drew pretty high. I have Drew ahead of Kyle Klein, for example, Kevin Jones, for example.
Disagree with that.
I have some really strong opinions.
Although I do think I have him higher than
on Drew Gibson, and I think it mostly has to be. I think that Drew Gibson has discovered his game fully. I think now to where he's always like he's now when you watch him play, he is committing to the way he attacks courses. He knows that's his game, throwing the huge hyzer flip mids and, going for the big lines. And he's fully committed to it now. And you can tell like he has a different kind of confidence in that strategy. And I think Drew Gibson, his putt got better last year significantly. Can't speak for the Shelly Sharp Memorial, but I think that Drew is going to like really be solid this year. So I think he's pretty high up there. But my top 3 is definitely going to be the most controversial, mostly because I have Paul Macbeth at number 3. And so that'll get that's going to earn me some slander, I'm sure. But my reasoning for that...
Who's your number 1?
I'm not going to say. But my reasoning for that... my reasoning for that is not because of Paul declining, but just because of the higher ceilings of certain other players.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think, I don't think it's that ridiculous either, but I think people are going to act like it is.
I went Ricky 1, Paul 2. And the reason for I put Ricky 1, I wrote this, is he has the dagger back in his bag. That's it.
I mean, was he not like one of the best putters on tour last year?
One of, yes. But I think he'll gain.
I don't know.
I think the dagger gains him like 2 to 3 strokes a tournament.
Okay.
And I also think he has the confidence of like, I've won world championships.
Yeah, no, that's-
with this
I think he's going to be
plastic.
so excited about being back.
That is what
I'm saying.
I did write
There's
that
something
with
about
Ricky.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like when I put Innova back in my bag, I just feel good.
My FPO list, I did a similar thing with my top 5. My top 2 is not the same though. I switched around Paige and Kristen. So that one is going to get me a lot of...
so you put Kristen as number 1 in the world.
Yeah, I've got Kristen number 1 in the world. I think Kristen...
Where's Kat on
I
your
think
list?
Kristen's the boogeyman when it comes to Paige. Like, I think when Kristen...
But I think
when
Evelina,
Kristen rolls up, things change.
I realistically think that Evelina is better than Kristen.
No,
we'll have to see when they're over here. But
Yeah, it's all with the players coming over, and I did this. Vino, I don't have quite as high as you because I just want him to prove himself a little first.
That's fair.
I do have Henna and Evelina ahead of Kat, and kind of for the same reasoning. I just think that if you look at what Kristen was able to do, first of all, Henna and Evelina are not new to the Pro Tour.
No.
I mean, the last time we saw Evelina, she won on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She won Waco.
She's won Memorial. She's won Waco. I feel like she's won a major.
If you look at them against Kristen, which Kristen has been incredible, she came on very strong last year, they can beat her.
Yeah, they do beat her, right?
They do. So, like,
it's typically one of those 3 win on the European Tour.
They're like the 3 horsemen of the European apocalypse that are coming over. Like, it's going to be the real deal. So those are probably going to be like, that's going to be the
Where did you put
controversy.
Kat?
I have her at 5 as well.
5 as well. Okay.
Yeah. I have
you're just that one's going to get hated more than you would think.
the rest of the I also have Valerie. I have Valerie at 8.
Where's Konner?
I have Konner at 11.
You don't even have her in your top 10.
No. I have Macy just ahead of her.
Macy Vela-Diaz?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
frick.
think I see good things out of her this year. She plays a more events this year. And I have Sarah at 9 and then Valerie. I think Valerie is like big time player to watch this year.
I think so too.
Big time player to watch.
Too. I'm pretty excited to watch her on tour this year.
But yeah, I
she
think
could
that list
surprise
is more
people.
controversial, although I'm sure people will dig at me for some of my MPO
Yeah,
picks.
so we'll see once Trevor's is fully out what people think. But last thing to talk about, Disc Golf Pro Tour All-Star Weekend is a little bit less than a month out. Kind of confusing how they're marketing it.
Yeah, well, I don't know where the confusion is.
Well, the FPO, I don't think it's very confusing because they added like a correction in. The MPO, though,
What was the correction with the FPO?
Straight up confusing. Well, let me explain the issue first. Well, they actually edited their post on Instagram. I'm just now seeing. So good on them because this was very confusing at first. They posted All-Star men's lead card, and they have Ricky, Eagle, Calvin, Paul. Issue is Paul is confirmed not going to the All-Star event. He's told them, he's posted on social media, he's not going to be there. Ricky has said, I'm not positive if I'm going to the All-Star event.
I'm pretty
or
sure
not.
what he tweeted yesterday was pretty condemning.
He said he's most likely going to try to just work on his dynamic, like learning his new bag, and he'll see.
He
it
pretty
in
much
Vegas.
said, unless he was like, unless what he was tweeting was like he was just riding the fence long enough to see if like the Pro Tour would pay him more to show up or something. But like, I don't think he's going.
But my thing is like, so they're using
Side
Ricky.
note, I saw him throw a felon on
Yeah, it was
Instagram.
filthy. Brody was like, I was looking over Brody's shoulder on Instagram. He might even show me that video. But regardless, I watched that video on his phone. I said, Ricky's winning worlds this year. That's all it took
Ricky
for
with
me.
the felon.
I'm bought in. I think Ricky's going to keep the tradition of
Ricky
you switch
is
from
gonna be an
Innova and
absolute
you win
wagon
worlds.
this year. There's plenty of room on the Ricky bandwagon. Plenty of room.
And so,
Got 5 seats.
anyways, I just thought it was weird because so the Pro Tour added this note after and said if an all-star can't make the event, the next most qualified player will be selected as an alternate.
Yeah.
But my thing is like,
The information was very
Why-
easy to get that they knew that Paul at least wasn't going.
Paul had already told them before this post
Yeah.
that he wasn't coming. But my thing is like,
Maybe
why,
they just doubled down.
why didn't they confirm or like, why make this post I guess is what I'm confused about. Because they were saying like, we want to honor them for getting the thing as all-star, but then why call it the lead card, not say people who qualified for the all-star event, lead card being announced soon. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just would hate to, because they were also advertising tickets being for sale. So I'd hate to be someone who buys a ticket thinking I'm going to see. The women's lead card, I'm pretty sure, is set. And when they originally posted it, they already had this note on there. So I'm pretty sure the women's lead card
I would
is
hope
true.
their mindset wasn't like, well, let's just post it as it is, get some ticket sales, and then
Yeah, because that'd be kind of
and
scummy.
then correct it, because that is kind of scummy.
I was just kind of confused
With
by
that
it.
being said, though, like it's still going to be a very entertaining card. But
Sure,
the
but if I'm,
absence
like-
of Paul and Rick is big.
If I'm 4 hours away and I have to ask off work and I'm going to drive in to watch it, and it's like, oh, I get to watch Paul and Rick on the same card, buy my ticket, put in my
it's a big deal.
vacation day, and like start booking hotels and stuff, and then a week from now or 3-4 days from now, they're like, all right, here's a true lead card, and it's like,
Who is the
I
next
guess it'd
two
be
in?
like Dickerson maybe, but then like, what if those people can't? Like, what if you just like down to
Yeah,
the top
Dickerson
10?
might not make that trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you just get down and it's like, oh, well, and then you bought the ticket because you wanted to see Paul and Rick, and now you're like, well, at least I get Calvin and Eagle, but
I think they should give.
I don't know. It's just weird marketing.
I think the finale
without it.
winner should get an automatic spot. I think Nathan Quinn.
I
should
also
get
think it's weird having an
exemption.
all-star event and like imagine the all-star game and LeBron not showing up or Steph Curry not playing the all-star game.
Yeah. Well,
it just
it's
makes it seem weird.
It's more comparable to like the Pro Bowl in football. To like the NBA, like certain sports have a very distinguished identity with their all-star games, like them being like a very big deal. The NBA, like the all-star weekend has always been a really big deal. The NHL, similar, like, but in football, like nobody really cares about the Pro Bowl that much. So like players have been known to skip it a lot. It's also at the end of the year, similar to like this is at the beginning of the year.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if the timing's the biggest issue.
If it was like in the middle of a tour swing,
yeah.
you might have more success.
Well, what I said is maybe the end of the regular season. So after Worlds, before the playoffs started MVP. To where you're in the middle of your season still, but it fits that little like gap still.
Yeah, all-star things. Here's the real bottom line. If you want people to show up to your all-star weekend, pay them all $5,000, $10,000. Like then they're gonna show up. Like
Well, yeah.
you gotta make it worth the players' while.
I think the tough part is like
And
in
like
Paul's shoes, he's not playing Las Vegas. And so why would he travel out weeks early when he's not going to be out? He doesn't even on the West Coast till March.
Because like it's a cool honor.
And
but
then
at the
Ricky's
end of the day,
like, I need to know. I would rather have an extra few weeks before everyone sees me throwing my DD bag. I'd rather have a few weeks more of practice.
Right.
Whereas like middle of the season, you're not having either of those issues if you like fit it into the tour schedule. Because then Paul's already on the road, and it's like, well, now it makes sense. I might as well swing by. Ricky's already comfortable with his discs. And it can be the people who are currently hot.
Yeah. Here's what you do. You do an all-star weekend in the middle of the tour swing, and you do events. You don't just do a round. I think you do.
No, yeah. They definitely they need to have skills games.
so that guys and girls can get invited for certain things. Like the guys who get invited to dunk competition aren't all-stars typically.
Yeah.
So like
Some of them are, but not all of them.
Right. So like you have a big cast of people all at the event.
You can also have like your
cheering each other
rookie
on.
card.
Like, you know how the distance showcase looks at USDGC? That should be the vibe of an all-star weekend.
Yeah.
You know, everybody rooting on guys throwing over a lake. Like,
but you could also like add in.
it's just a weird
like make
event.
make a rookie and sophomore group of two foursomes and play collegiate doubles or something.
Yeah.
To where like switch
I
it up
did
to where
hear
there
that
is
now-
disc golf, but it's not just straight disc golf.
I
but
did hear
we
that-
haven't heard the format yet.
Yeah, they're supposed to. They said they were going to add in skills
Yeah.
competitions.
So
for
we
this
haven't
year.
heard the format yet. They might be doing exactly what we're saying, where it's not going to be just another tournament. Because if it is, it's kind of weird. Like people in debate night were saying that NASCAR apparently has an all-star race. And I'm like, but what's the difference? Like the NBA basketball game, the all-star game,
I guess
the
less
whole
cars are in
point
it.
is like people are trying to show off. So they're trying to do stuff in the all-star game. Like there's no real defense. They're doing
Right.
stuff in the all-star game that you wouldn't see in the regular season. And they form super teams. So that's why it's
the
entertaining.
biggest deal of the all-star, that is true. In individual sports, it's different because the biggest allure, and I didn't even think about this, for like, even for football where it's not as popular, the only thing that's maybe getting me to watch that football game is to watch Peyton Manning throw to Randy Moss or like the combinations. Oh my gosh, Alex Ovechkin is passing it to Sidney Crosby for a goal. Like that is the stuff that draws you to
But that's what I'm
all-star
saying is like
games.
in disc golf,
Yeah, it's like,
you've
well,
got to
it's
switch
just-
up the format a little bit
Right.
because if not, it's just make it a crazy high dollar skins match to where
Yeah.
like people are trying to run, make it match play, make it doubles, make it something to where we're not just seeing, because like you're not going to change your play style
Yeah.
for an all-star event versus normal because like if you're an aggressive player, you're already going for crazy stuff. Like Eagle's not going to start doing even crazier things in an all-star event. Like he's already throwing crazy lines. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see how that continues to develop and what they decide to do with
I'm
it.
gonna watch it.
No, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's still,
That is the one thing
it's
that
still
helps
disc
it.
golf.
Being at the beginning of the year is like I'm so desperate for disc golf at this point that I will watch it 100%.
No, yeah,
Be
I'm gonna
very-
watch it no matter
very
what.
excited.
That's
about
actually
it.
what DD stands for.
Desperate for disc golf. Should be
That should be
quickly
a stamp.
Intellectual property.
Okay,
Group claim.
group claim. Konner claim. We're claiming it for Konner.
Yeah.
If you
Cool, I've
haven't
never
yet
had one of
checked
those
it out, go over to fdnsports.com is where you can find my top 20, Trevor's top 20, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, if you haven't joined the Heiser Club yet, what are you waiting for? Head over to patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf, and you can get access to ad-free grip locked episodes. If you want to cut out the YouTube ads and also our ad reads, you can get that access to that. It starts at only $5 a month. There's also a ton of like discounts, access to exclusive stores, bonus content, bonus podcasts. You can find all that information at patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf and become a member of the Heiser Club. Final thing, we have a Facebook group now. Took us a long time because
Heck yeah.
I hate Facebook. I'm just gonna be straight up. But disc golfers love Facebook. So like
The
kind of
disc golf
stupid.
community in Facebook is goated.
So you can go over to Facebook and just search Foundation Nation. You'll find our Facebook group. We really appreciate each of you for listening, and we'll talk to you all next week.